Tell you what, let's begin this lesson anew. In other words, go up to the word File and select New. I'm on Web, my favorite one, 960 by 560. Just pick a place that fits your window. Click OK. I want to look at two more tools that can help you make more complex shapes out of simple shapes, and they are the scissors and the knife tool. Now they are located over here underneath the eraser tool. There they are. So let's go ahead and just tear those off. Might as well. Stick them out of the way over here somewhere. Come over and pick up your ellipse tool and draw an ellipse something, I don't know, say like that. I'm going to pick up my regular selection tool, hold down my Alt key, that's the Option key on a Mac, Alt in Windows, and that makes a copy because I want two of them. There you go. Now, go ahead and select both, just kind of run across them like that, and let's give them a color so we can see them a little bit better. Yellow works fine. Now, scissors, knife. Let's start with the knife. Understand that when you use these tools, the item that you're applying them to must be selected. Now, let's say we already have it, and we go, well, okay, it won't work because it's not selected. So you have to come up here, select this tool, come back down here, select it, and come back up here. No, just hold down the Control key. That's the Command key on a Mac, Control on Windows, and click, because that temporarily gives you that tool, and then let go, and you got the knife tool. Now, this one's kind of fun. Come over here outside it somewhere, and click, and begin dragging. Now, when you hit the egg, that's what I'm calling it, kind of do that. Just kind of go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like that, and see what happened. Now, if we pick up our direct selection tool, and we come over and we click, we have cracked open the Easter egg. So the purpose of the knife tool is to create a closed shape based on the movement of the mouse as we're cutting. Now, what's the scissors? Well, besides the fact that my mother always said don't run with scissors, it does something a little bit differently. Pick it up. Now we have to have the item selected, so I'm going to hold that Control or Command key and click to select it, let go, I've got it. This tool only cuts paths, and it makes an open shape when it's done. So I have to be on the path to use it. If I come over here and try to click, it will tell me, nope, you got to be on a path. So I'm going to come over here, get on the path. Doesn't have to be on an anchor point. Just somewhere on the path, go ahead and click. And then maybe come down here and do the same thing. Okay, I'll pick up my direct selection tool and come up here and pull it apart. Two open shapes. The straight line, of course, is the open part, and that's where the fill is because it goes from here to here. Now, we know how to close this. We did this in the previous lesson. If we click on this one here and shift-click on this one down here, and then go up to the word Object and go down to Path Join, we could put these together. Now, we could also use the shortcut, and that's Control-J in Windows, Command-J on a Mac, and join them together. So, the knife creates a closed path based on the movement of your mouse across the selected object, and the scissors must cut the path, and it opens the path up, which you can subsequently close if you want to. We're not done. Press Control-A, and that's Control-A in Windows, Command-A on a Mac, and get rid of everything. Let's have some fun. Pick up your ellipse tool. Now come down here and click this little button down here. Now that defaults your fill to white and your stroke to black. Come over here and draw me an ellipse, something like, well, something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, just something like that. Come over and pick up your scissors. It's already selected. I want you to cut at the anchors here and over here. Pick up your direct selection tool. You should be able to then select this part and delete it. And that's what I want. Now we have one more anchor point right up here. There it is. I want to get rid of that one. So go over to your pen tool and you have an item called delete or add. Delete anchor point. Select it. We're going to come over here, find that point and click on it. It should do something like that. Don't click with it unless you're over an anchor point or you'll get that warning. Let's go ahead and go back to the direct selection tool. Pick up this direction point right here. Now, if you don't see it, click right here and pull it straight up. There we go. Now, again, it's kind of subjective. I'm going to go up about that much. I'm holding the Shift key to make sure I go straight up and something like that. Come to this one. Again, if you don't see it, click there and do a 180 with it. pull it around this way, hold the Shift key, and then pull it down some. Something, well, actually about like that, okay? Pick up your regular selection tool and click in a corner when you see the bent arrow and bend it. I'm going to bend it just about that much. Now, if you don't see the bounding box, don't forget. You go up to the word View and say Hide or Show Bounding Box. We have the regular selection tool selected. Click on our shape. Hold down the Alt key, Option key on a Mac, and the Shift key when you drag it down. And we're going to go to About. Back to the Direct Selection tool. This is where shortcuts can really help you. And select those 2 points. I'll use the shortcut Control-J on Windows, Command-J on Mac, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Control or Command-J. That's join. We put them together. Okay, we now have a regular shape. Go back to your regular selection tool. Select it. Go over into your swatches, and you will notice in your swatches, you do have some standard gradients. There's one right there. Go ahead and choose that one right there that's black to white. Now we don't need the stroke anymore, so take that off. Come down here and click the No button here. And you should see that. Now this part here is bleeding off white into the white background, so I do want to change the gradient. I'm going to click here to select the shape. I'm going to come over into my gradient right here, and in gradient, click this button to bring the fill to the front. Then select this slider just by clicking on it. Go into your swatches, this one right here. Hold the Alt key, Option key on a Mac, and basically it does that. So we can see it now. So we've got this shape that we started with an ellipse and cut, bent, did a couple of things, put a gradient on it. Pick it up with your regular selection tool, select it. Now, go over to your Rotate tool and click and hold on it and go down to the Reflect tool. Click right in the middle, as close as you can get. If it isn't, that's okay, but it'll save a step if you can get it right on the middle. Hold down the Alt key and click. Now that opens up the Reflect dialog. What we're looking for is actually that. See how it reverses it? So we want a vertical and we want a copy. Click Copy. Okay, now pick up your Move tool. The rest of this is just simply moving things around and copying them. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to drag it down. Now, if I got it right on the center, I should be able to just move it down with the Shift key and get it where I want it to be. If not, you can use your arrow keys and get it exactly where it needs to be. Let's go one more time. Okay, now select them both. Hold down the Alt key, Option key on a Mac, and the Shift key, and drag them down. I need to line those up again, don't I? That's not too bad, but I'm going to move those over just a little bit like that. And we can do that and keep doing it over and over again. And every time you do, you just create another set. And what we wind up with is a ribbon that's kind of like unraveling. But we started with an ellipse. Simple shapes make complicated objects if you know what buttons to push. This is one amazing program.